Wynne Dromey, and young artist aim to show things in the form of art. She had hosted multiple different art gallery shows in different areas, and we're lucky to interview her. Hey everybody, we're lucky today to have Wynne Dromey with us to be our first artist guest in this interview channel ever. So we're actually it's lucky to have you. So thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you just introduce yourself for a sec?
Sure. Well, my name is Wynne Dromey. I am a sophomore here at Clark University, and I'm a double major in studio art and marketing with a minor in entrepreneurship.
Cool. And since she's a great artist, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm trying to make him to one of my guests of the interview, is that she's too talented. She's extremely phenomenal on what she's doing. So can you just please give us a little sketch and an introduction of your art business and in the industry?
Sure. Well, thank you so much. I run my own small art business called Colors of the Wind. Through the gallery, you can see some of my past work. If you go down, I have more specific observational work and just small fun sketches that I've done in the past. One of my favorite pieces is this piece called Place of Repose, and it's a painting that I did of my cousin. And what I did is I took all my trash and recycled material and I pasted it on the canvas before I painted on top of it. And I like to do this because it added a more environmental element to it and trying to reduce waste, but it also added texture and a fun visual element to the piece as well, which I'm trying to do more with my artwork. But also on my website, you can request a custom piece. So if you just include a few details about the size that you want, the price range, and details of custom work, then I will reach out to you and we can create a custom artwork. Also, there's a little about me page, a little bit more about my story, and if you wanted to contact me. And I started this business in high school, and in high school is when I became more serious in art. I started doing it almost every single day. And the more I did it, the more practice I had, the better I got. And my friends would see my artwork and say, "That's really cool. I think you should try selling it sometime. I think I would buy one." So I thought, why not? I should try that. So that's kind of how my business started. And so what I do is I create custom artwork for my friends and family or my customers. So what they do is they send me a reference photo and some ideas. It could be in the past, I've done pets, I've done portraits and houses and landscapes, almost anything you could request. And I create a custom painting of those photos for them. But aside from that, I also create my own artwork. I usually focus on portraits, and I like to post those on my social media on Instagram. And I am trying to get those in galleries as well. In the past, in high school, I hosted my first art show at a small gallery in a town over from mine, and that was super exciting. It was my first time ever being in a it was a group show, but it was my first time being in a real art show. And from there, I just kept growing my art and sharing it in as many places as possible. One of my pieces was also in the Springfield Museum, so this was really exciting in Massachusetts. And in college, I submitted a piece into the annual college art show through a gallery called Arts Worcester, and it was one of the prize winners as well, which was very exciting.
Wow.
So from there, I've just been trying to create more art and share it with as many people as possible.
Sounds fantastic. But I bet the feeling of the chance for you to able to share your art in the gallery and to other people is phenomenal, right? It's a great feeling,
It is, yes.
It's a way to showcase your hard work, basically, because. And so my question right here is that because you mentioned a little bit of what actually makes you start this business, right? Can you actually expound on that? What makes you want to start this art industry?
Sure. I think art was definitely the first step. Business kind of came afterwards. When I was really young, before I even realized that art was something I really enjoyed, I would see paintings online or in museums or in books and artwork and think, wow, that's so good. I wish I could do that too. So from there, I just would practice and practice and practice, and my skills kept getting better. through the practice, and that's when I realized that art is something that I'm really passionate about. So I'd say before the business came, the passion for art came first. And afterwards, I thought that selling it and sharing it through business would be a fun way to spread my artwork. And plus, I was able to make a little bit of money out of it too, which is nice. So I'd say the reason I started was I wanted to grow my art skills, and then the business and sharing it and my passion for sharing it came second.
Cool. Can you explain like why in the art industry? Like, why do you think, like, at least in your perspective, right, that passion is definitely over the business? Like, why do you think it's in this way? Wing has mentioned this multiple times to me, that she thinks her art talent and the passion toward art is way beyond the
That my
business
love for
itself.
art would lead me to selling over 150 commission pieces in 3 years, and my art being displayed in local art museums and galleries. If you have this mindset that you strictly are in business and you just want to make money, I feel like it's harder to have that deeper desire, that intrinsic motivation to really keep going with it, especially when you're tired and you don't really want to do the work, or you see your goal, but it's not as exciting to you. I think that's when you realize that the passion needs to be there. So I feel like when you have that passion, even when you're tired, even when you feel like you don't have the motivation to do it, there's still that inner motivation inside of you that's like, you know what, this is what I love, and I'm so grateful that I'm doing this. And I think that's what keeps pushing you through.
Definitely agree, because passion is the most important thing in every single area, I think. It's not just about art, it's about everything. It's that if you're a teacher, if you're a professor, if you're a chef, whatever you're doing, right, you have to be enthusiastic toward what you love. I think that's one of the most important things. Thank you for mentioning that up, you know. What is the correlation between art and your life and then yourself physically?
I would say confidence is the one thing that art has given me in my life. Um, in high school, during my senior year, I participated in AP Art, so we had to create a portfolio throughout the year. And I focused my portfolio on other people who have impacted me in my life. So I did portraits of my friends and family, and each portrait was a different person who has made an impact on my life in a different way. And each one had a different abstract background that resembled them, and how what I admire about them. So I'd say by showing my gratitude for them in that portfolio, I realized that I have been so fortunate to have such a great support system and have such great and caring people in my life. And those are the people who have been inspiring me and telling me to keep going with my art. And I think because of that, that gave me so much confidence in what I was doing, and made me believe that what I was creating made an impact on others. So because of that, I think because of that portfolio, I kept going with art, and because of art, I was able to grow my confidence. So I think that's where that all connects.
Wow. So art is definitely a stimulation for your life, you know, for your confidence. It's just like one of the most important thing to I think, like, do you think art is more like a general way to present yourself in some like, you know, degree? Like, what is your definition of art? Like, what do you think?
I think the definition is different for every artist. Art, I think, as a whole, is a way of expressing something, whether that is yourself or an idea. But I think at the end of the day, if you're the person that is creating something, I think it's coming from you. So no matter what it is that you're creating, if you're making a statement about something else, or if you're telling a story, that story is still being told in your perspective. So I feel like art is definitely kind of like a stamp, or like a print, or a document of a part of yourself that you put into that, whatever you're expressing.
So do you agree that art is the best way to actually show yourself, you know? Like, do you agree with this statement?
I'd say so. I'd say it's a great way to connect yourself with others too, whether it's music or paintings, or theater, or any type of art. It's a way of connection.
Cool. And what do you like among all this good memorable thing that you had, right? What is the most memorable story that you ever had in your art career? Let's say it that way.
I think I've had lots of memorable stories, but one that sticks out most is when I hosted my first art show in high school. When I was mentioning earlier, um, in high school, I had this idea that the world is your oyster, and that's an idea that I like to carry with me to today. And basically, I just had that idea that if you have a goal, then you have the means to achieve it. If as long as you put in the work and you find your resources. So back in high school, when I was growing my art skills and creating more work, I really wanted to have a show to present it and show all of the work that I put in. So one of my family friends knew one of the owners of a local art gallery, which unfortunately isn't running today. Yeah, it's out of business. But
It's unfortunate.
I know. But now in high school, I was able to reach out to them and suggest. I said I'm a high schooler and I'd love to share my work, and they were really excited about it and really willing to allow me to share my work for free, which was such a great experience. So me and two other local artists had a little group show over the summer. It was kind of during COVID, so we had to postpone it, but luckily we were still able to have the show, which was very exciting. But I think seeing it on the walls and having my friends and family come to support me was such an incredible experience because I was able to look at all the hard work that I put in and realize that I had a goal and I worked to achieving it. So I think it was kind of like a pinpoint in my life when I realized that anyone who has a goal can achieve it, but it's just up to them to figure out how to get there.
That's great. And she attended one of the Clark Tank competition last year as a freshman. And she, how much you got?
I won $2,000.
And then you asked for 1,500, right? And you got like a $500 extra. And
I did.
oh my gosh. I think the judges see a huge potential from you. As I think, as you mentioned, is that they think that you actually love art and this passions really make them through $500 more than you expected, right? And that's one of the most important things. And thank you for being here and talking with me.
Absolutely.
And,
Thank you so much for having me.